Hey Glam Squad, welcome back. So this week's video is a follow-up really to my video last week on the flawless foundation routine. I kind of, so over the course of the week, a lot of you guys emailed or texted me and called me and commented some of your issues that you have with foundation. So I'm basically going to use this video as an opportunity to try to address some of those issues and help you guys encountering some of those problems. I love doing these videos. I actually have the next, my set of videos set up that I'm planning to film, but I love kind of interjecting these to try to answer some of your questions. So if there's a video you'd like to see or something you'd like to learn, definitely comment below. You can text me, call me. You guys know me if you're watching this, so I'd love to help you. Also, one of the commenters last week, I actually not sure if I know you, Ronnie Garcia, was one of the commenters, and she asked about maybe having somebody come on and bring their makeup and us, trying to show them how to use their own makeup. If that's something you'd like to do, either comment or text me below, and maybe I can make that into a video where you bring your makeup and I can show you some of the things that you may even be missing as an opportunity to do with your own makeup. So that kind of sounded like it'd be a fun video to do. So if that's something that you would like to do, I hope that you'll comment or text me, and then maybe in an upcoming video we can do that where you bring out your makeup and we'll, as a community, try to show you some tips. So I'm coming at you from my room this time. My makeup is in my room, so I was trying to do this video so that I've had access to everything. So coming at you from the bedroom, if you want to see some tips and tricks, just stay tuned. So I'm filming in my room because this is where I keep my makeup, but also because I'm trying to use more natural lighting. When I did that foundation video, I realized that the overhead lights are so bright that you might not have been able to see details. So I wanted to try and do this where there's a little bit more natural light and hopefully you can see. So I've really zoomed you in so we could talk about some of the issues. So first things first, again, I've already moisturized because I always prep. But one of the issues I have is dry skin. Now, I shouldn't say that. I have combination skin because I do get really oily in my T-zone, but really dry for some reason right here. I don't know what this is called. Outside my chin? Anyway, if you know the name of this part of your face, comment it what it is down below. So one of the things though, in reading all of your comments, and it's so funny because you guys just mostly text me. Everybody's always texting me like their comments, which I love. So feel free to continue to do that if you have my number, which if you're watching this, you do. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is oily skin, because I didn't really talk about that because I don't really have that issue. But if you have oily skin, one of the things I do recommend is a matte matting primer. Now I have this one. It's from Becca. It's called the Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. This stuff is strong, you guys. What I do is I put this in on my nose and a little bit like right here and on my chin. Now, a lot of you guys talked about your makeup rubbing away, where it tends to rub away, tend to like fade away around your mouth, on your chin. For me, it's my chin, and I think Noemi, you commented that it's on your chin too. And I think Angelica said that on her nose. So one of the things I love to do is use a matting primer. Even if you have dry skin like I do, I really recommend this. Now this stuff, girl, she's thick. It's a pretty thick formula. But what I do is I will just put that on the areas where I need it, which is gonna be for me on my chin and my nose. But if you are oily skin, like Monique has the same primer, but she can use it all over her face because she's oily skin, so for her it's not an issue. The other thing, it dries really quick. So if you're gonna spread it out, work quickly because this stuff dries, and then once it dries, it's locked in. Another issue, you guys talked about color, like you have a lot of redness. Like I have, in my last video, I'm like, I have red spots that are red. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I thought it was funny. I have red spots, but I also just have in general red skin. So sometimes I will use a color corrector. Now, got all my stuff around here. I have the LA Girl Pro Conceal high definition concealer. This is like a green. I wouldn't even say it's really concealer. I think it's the same consistency as their concealer, but it's got like this fibrous wand, so you push the product out and then it comes out. And so a lot of times what I'll do is, because if you look at my chin, it's got purple veining, but it's really red, I will just put this in this area and then around my nose where I get really red. And then I will concentrate this concealer on my red spots. So hopefully this zooming in is helping and you guys are able to see what I'm talking about. Now, here's the issue with color correcting, which I just did, or just used. It's great because it does actually reduce the redness. The problem is now you have green spots, these colored spots on your face, and now you have to use more makeup to cover that up. So sometimes I just feel like rather than add this step, I'll just skip it altogether and just conceal. Because now, see, I have a green all over my chin. And that stuff ain't moving. And it's not really going to fade out. So while I do this, and it is helpful, it does reduce. Like, some of these spots are no longer have like a red under. Like, when I look close, like there's no red really peeking through anymore. Some of it still does. So that's what I'm saying. It's hit or miss, and it kind of depends on, do you guys want to take those extra steps and then know that you have to cover them up? Because what can happen is it can make your skin look, or it can make your makeup look really cakey. So I have done it, and you, with a light hand and the proper tools, you can make this look flawless, but I'm just going to warn you, be careful and consider if that's really a step you want to do. So I do it, but infrequently is what I should say. Okay, another issue. If you have, like myself, dry skin, this product that I showed you guys last week, the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, they make a product for hydrating skin, and it basically, like, you can target certain areas. Oh, hang on, let me get this to focus. Okay, there we go. It can help you to target certain areas. The stuff's really expensive. I think it's like $40 or $50. So I use the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm. Now, this stuff is really nice. It feels so good on your skin. Like, when you put it on, it's really hydrating and soothing. It's almost cool to the touch. What I'll do is I'll focus this on my problem areas. So for me, it's right here on the area I don't know. Side chin. I'm going to call it side chin. On my side chin. And then I get it also really bad in my, I don't know the name of that area either. Now I just kind of press this in, and then I'll just use my finger to kind of tap it in. Now you have to figure out what's the order that works for you. I might have done this backwards if I had thought about it. I'd have probably put this on first and then these other steps, but it doesn't matter, whatever works. But I will say with this matting primer, yeah, it's gonna stay on there pretty quick. Now, I have the issue sometimes when I'm wearing, I love to do this when I'm going to like an amusement park. I think I did this when I went to SeaWorld the last time. But when I wear sunglasses and they touch my nose, this part of my nose area gets really, it just rubs right off. And so, you know, when you take off your glasses, now I have a big old red spot from under my skin. And then like you can literally see the difference between my makeup and that spot. I can use my fingers to kind of rub it out and stuff, but it just looks really bad. So something you can do if you have that issue, again, I caution you on doing this frequently, but I have done this often and I really like the results. But I will use a NYX Glitter Glue primer. And what I do is I focus this on areas where I know my makeup tends to move and I don't want it to. So I will put this right in here where my glasses sit on my face. Now this stuff is really strong, so careful. But honestly, I wouldn't have a problem doing this every day. And one of the reasons is this is designed to go on your eyelid, which is a very sensitive area. And because of that, sorry, I've been sick all week. I know everybody's been getting sick, but I was not immune either. I got sick. I don't have a problem using this every day. And the reason I'm saying is because it's designed for your eyelid, and which is a sensitive part of your face, and it's fine. I don't think it would be a big deal, and I don't use a lot. It's not like I'm glopping it all on there. I think it's actually pretty effective, and I think it's a great way to make your makeup stay in areas where you have an issue. So like also for me on my chin, I'll just tap that on there. It is good if you can let this stuff sit though for a little bit and because it's tacky right now, so you kind of want it to dry down. So those are just some tips for problem areas. Now, I also mentioned last week that I had the scarring on my cheeks from when I had acne when I was younger. I feel like in this lighting you can't tell, maybe you can tell right here. I have like a whole, they're just really enlarged pores. Now, no matter what, you're gonna, like, you can't hide that. But I will say there are some primers that are better than others, and that's why I use like this blur stick or and I talked about the Benefit product. Another one though I just got this week, and my BoxyCharm is no Poreblem primer. It's by Touch and Soul. Now I will say I love this primer. It does fill in your pores very nicely. She's thick, and it's very nice. But the great part is it's very hydrating. So for me with my dry skin, but also my problem with my pores, this is like a nice combo. So the thing is when you do this, you don't want to obviously touch where you've already made these corrections. So I'm not going to put this in the chin area or in on my nose. One of the things I neglected to mention, sorry, when you're doing, if you have an oily nose, or if that's a problem area for you, one thing you should consider is not putting moisturizer on. So a lot of times when I do go in with my moisturizer, I'll not put anything on my nose, and then I'll put that matting primer, and trust me when I say nothing is coming through. It really is effective at not letting any oils through. So if that's an issue for you, I would suggest, like, in your morning makeup or in your morning skincare routine, just try to avoid the nose area, especially where it gets the oily the most, like, which for me is down the center and then just right here on the sides. So that's where I'll try to avoid putting moisturizer on. And for my glasses, I put that Glitter Glue primer there to try to get it all in. So at this point now I can go in with foundation, which you've already seen how I do that. So we can skip this step, but those are just some things that you should do. Oh, another thing. See, I'm already forgetting. This is what happens when I don't write it down. If you also have oily skin, but maybe you don't want to use these kind of primers, or you don't want to do this, one of the things I love to do is put powder underneath my foundation. Contrary to popular belief, you can do this. It's very effective, and it's a great way to often set primers. So like, let's say your primer still feels tacky, but you're in a hurry. I do this all the time, where I'll just take my powder on my puff, and then I'll just tap it on the sides of my face, put it on my nose where I tend to get oily, where I set that primer on my chin, and just lightly powder. So now when we go on with foundation, that foundation is really going to stick to the powder, but it's also going to prevent your foundation from looking greasy or anything like that. So that's another good step. If you are worried about oil control, put powder down first and then put your makeup on top. If you do that, you don't necessarily have to set your foundation. I know I said last week what I do is I always powder on top of mine. I do that mostly because I like the pore filling look that powder has. So oftentimes I will powder after because I like it to kind of sink into my pores. But this is a reverse way you can do that, and it is effective. I don't know if it's as effective, but I know a lot of people don't like that powdered look. Like, I know Monique really hates it. She likes to look a little dewy, and I will say looking dewy often does give you a more youthful appearance. So this is also a great way though to make your makeup stick to your skin but not get greasy or oily. So another little tip there. And then for my final tip, let me do my foundation and I will be right back. So at this point I've just put on my foundation, and I haven't powdered or anything. So another tip I was gonna say, if you are someone, I felt bad because after my 5-minute makeup routine, my friend Julie was text me and she's like, girl, it takes me 5 minutes just to do my concealer. Because I told her, because I told you guys I don't even do concealer when I do a quick makeup routine. But I was going to say, if you are someone who doesn't need concealer or doesn't have a lot of dark under eyes or maybe discoloration, I'm just gonna say, if you don't need anything, if you don't need concealer, don't use it. I know that's super controversial, especially in the makeup world where everybody's all about the concealer, and you see every YouTuber on earth like do these big like lines where they completely cover their face. To be honest, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, especially all it's going to do is just add makeup in a very sensitive area, and it can be really cakey. Now, that is specific to me because I don't have dark under eyes, so I don't have that problem. So if you have that, absolutely, you should use concealer, but maybe go with a light hand. You don't need to do the whole like V. Now, I know some people like to do that. Like Monique likes it because she's like, get light, you know, I get brighter under eyes, and you know, it's kind of like contouring where you have like brightness here, darkness here. And I'll do a whole video on that if you guys want, but it's not that necessary, especially if you're just trying to use foundation as a way to cover up imperfections and make your face like one tone. So now at this point my face is almost just one toned. Now I can go in with bronzer and blush and highlight and, you know, give dimension back to my face. But if this is the objective in trying to use foundation, I would say stop at this point and don't try not to use concealer if you don't have to. I have a lot of concealers, and I'll be honest, I love them more for like spot checking. So I love this Maybelline Age Rewind. I don't know if you guys have this, but this stuff is awesome. It's really great coverage. But I love doing this like in spots where, see where I have that red spot, I'll just kind of dab this on there. Obviously it's really white, but then I can take my makeup sponge that I just used to apply my makeup and kind of blend it in. So I'm not saying you shouldn't use it if you need it. By all means, you do you. But if you can avoid it, I would. And I've noticed the older I get, the less I'm inclined to using it. And maybe you'll find a way that works for you. But if I were you, this is such a tender eye area. Just try to stay away from it if you don't have to. Controversial part over. So, yeah, so that's it. Now at this point, this foundation that I'm using, oh my God, you guys, I'm obsessed with this new foundation. It's $6 at Walmart. Fun fact. It's Hard Candy Glamoflauge Full Coverage Foundation. This stuff is awesome. I will say though, I tried to get Monique to buy it and she's like, I'm not going to get it because it's not the right undertone. And she's all about the undertone. We should all be about our undertones. But the thing is I'm neutral. So I'm both red and yellow. So to me, it like, you know, I can kind of go either way and I can make it work for me. But the darker, not necessarily the darker skin you have, but if you have a strong undertone one way or the other, that can affect it. I will just say I love the finish on this. If you have Fenty or if you like the Fenty, this is super similar. I love the Fenty foundation. That's one of my favorite of all time. But this stuff is also really matte. So if you don't like a matte foundation, stay away from this because it's very matte and it's very drying. But honestly, I don't have to set this with powder. Like I put powder underneath my face and I feel fine with this. And the coverage is pretty flawless to me. Like I really feel like this coverage is really nice. And I wore this the other day till I think 1 or 2 in the morning because I was up watching a movie, and I went to go wash my face and I felt like it looked to me in my very bright bathroom like I had just put it on. So I really love this stuff. I just feel bad mentioning it because it's not available. It doesn't have a great shade range. There's only 18 shades, but I just feel like it's $6. So take it what you will. We're Glamorous Spectrum, so we're trying to cover the entire spectrum of our friends here in the makeup world. But, you know, and Monique has already decided like against this because of her skin color and the fact that they are not going to, I think they only have like 2 in like really dark. So obviously it's bad precedent to set. So I feel bad recommending it. I just feel like it's really great. So if you're, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, you might want to check it out. But don't check it out if you don't like matte, because it's, but me and my friend Veronica, hey Veronica, have been using it and we're like obsessed. We talk to each other every day, like, are you using it? Did you wear it? How did it look? So, okay, so hopefully this answered some of your foundation questions. Feel free to leave more. I'll continue to do updates, updated videos on tips and tricks you can use. So for this week's giveaway, it is going to be another eye makeup palette. When I bought the Myra Sweet Paradise palette for the winner, Sarai, congratulations, Sarai. How you doing? You know, swear this is how they get you. I wanted the free shipping, but to get free shipping, I had to spend so much money. And there were actually, because I love the formula of their eyeshadows, I wanted to try some other things that they had on their site. So I was also able to procure a palette for you guys. This is the Moira Best of You Confidence Eyeshadow Palette. So I will show you what that looks like. It's almost like a warm toned neutral palette. It's got some plastic on there. I'm trying to get it out of the, I don't want to take it off because I don't want to mess it up, but I'm trying to get the reflection out so you guys can kind of see it. But it's got really pretty colors, and I think it's a great neutral palette, which despite my trying to imbue more color into your lives, I know the majority of you guys are going to do neutral eye looks, so that's okay. I'm going to keep trying. But if you do want to win this eye makeup palette, which if it's anything like the other one, I got a second one. I'm contemplating keeping it just so I can try it. But if it's really good, I may just put in another order to buy more for you guys. So if you want to win this warm toned Myra Best of You palette, just you guys already know what to do. Comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and to our Instagram channel. And I will say, your chances of winning are pretty good, because I think in the last subscription, I think there was only like 9 people that entered. So your chances of winning are pretty good. So hopefully one of you guys is gonna win this, and hopefully somebody close by. I had to mail out Saturday's palette to her, and I was like, oh man. Actually, the shipping wasn't as much as I thought. So Tony, if you're watching in Idaho, or now you're in Portland, Oregon, I will definitely get this to you if you win. But yeah, it wasn't nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So I was actually pretty happy about that. But if you're a local winner like Nicole, then yeah, I'm definitely going to just invite you over for a drink, and then I'm going to hand it off to you. And then I can see you, because, you know, that's the cool part about this. We get to hang out too. I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm talking to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And definitely let me know if there's something specifically you would like to learn or watch or know or review. I, obviously, as you can tell, I'm a makeup junkie. I just really like this stuff. So I'm happy to share any of this with you guys. So until the next week.